Greetings, sending you all some warm, positive vibrations. This is Body-Culinary. Shout out to all of my early risers. This early day, I wanted to check in. Hopefully, you have your water in a wine glass, your mason jar full of warm, hot water, maybe with some turmeric in it, or your hot tea. This early day, I wanted to check in with some garden hair. So I could be a lot better about covering my hair when I'm in the garden. So I'm just going to share with you what I'm using just to cover my hair. It's a good practice so that you don't get a whole lot of lint and especially dust. And as I'm moving under different trees, different pieces of the leaves and everything get caught in my hair. And as my hair is like very fine carpet, no oil, things get caught in it very, very easily. So something that I like are very sheer scarves. This is also really nice if you've washed your hair or if you rinse it often. So I don't prefer to shampoo my hair often, although I can wash it as often as I like. And so for you, those of you with very fine hair, overwashing it or using very harsh shampoos can strip the hair very easily, especially if it's already delicate. So quite often I will use teas, and some folks have asked me what teas I will use. Inside the garden, I have neem. I have several different varieties of oregano. I have mint. I have several varieties of basil. So there are different types of also fruits and vegetables rinses I will use in my hair. These do not strip the hair. You just want to make sure that you strain them very finely. So I use this for big, large pulp from juices, and then also I use the plant milk bags, right? Which I do have extra of those on my website. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Body-Culinary, personal trainer, professional chef. On this channel, I love to share motivation, encouragement to start a garden because it's so deeply therapeutic, cultivate and start a personal movement practice, and to encourage peaceful consumption. What that looks like for me is consumption patterns focused around whole, fresh, living, unprocessed fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts, legumes, sprouts, foods that love you back and don't leave a whole lot of waste on your waistline. And they also are sustainable, affordable when you learn how to prepare them. And they nourish your immune system at a cellular level. All right, so that being said, back to today. So this is one of my scarves. I really like to share ones. This is a longer one. And my hairstyle of the day. These are these teeny, tiny little beads. So I don't have to do anything. I just have them on the edges. More than likely, these edges will be cut or they'll break off. This is why I used to wear a lot of shells. I have a tendency not to wear so many shells and beads, but every now and then I can't help myself. So if you look at the difference between these, which used to be big fluffy locks, and how much they've compressed, when I say I have very fine hair, and these from allowing them to join, all right, so they're all flat. This is what they're looking like now. So that's a big difference, only about 32 locks. I know because it's not a lot of them. So after rinsing, I will just blot them dry. And this is something, things have to be quick for me and pain free. So when I'm tying a sheer scarf on, I think it's a little stylish too. If I'm tying a sheer scarf on it, air can still get through so that my hair can dry and it's not going to mildew. And my hair will dry very quickly because I don't have any oil or any products in it. This is also a really nice way to, what do you call it? This is a nice way to quote unquote neaten your hair if you don't want to put any oils on. So that's all I'm doing. So nothing's in my hair, and I keep most of the dust out of my hair. If I want to, I can also put another Rasta cap on if I'm really going to be in an area with intense dust and compost. So it's a little chilly here. I got my little sweater on. My face is nice and naked. So I can breathe. I'm hydrating with some water. So that's my garden hair. That's my quickie hairstyle. No products, a little bit of adornment, so I can play also, but it's very important to be super carefree. And also for those of you folks that have, I really feel away of folks that have very fine hair or maybe thinking, oh, your hair doesn't look the same in certain styles because it can have a tendency to look very scalpy, right? When you do your double strand twist, or your hair may itch profusely, or you may have dandruff when your scalp is exposed. That's something I experienced. Double strand twists alleviated that, and even more so, it's been an experience and an epiphany to experience No products, not no oil. I'm not oiling my scalp at all at this point. So I could play and do all that glam stuff. However, as I've shared, I prioritize play, the garden, and my movement practice. So a lot of times, all that stuff is not convenient for me. I don't like to feel like I'm suffocating with a lot of stuff on. I do have that as an option if that's what I felt like doing. My health and seeing what's going on with my body is my main priority. So this is easy. My hair, even if it's wet, if I rinse it, can breathe through the scarf and I can move on about my business. Go take care of the rabbit, do the compost, um, do some weeding, get to my movement practice, prepare some food. I'm going to make a nice run with some cistern today to look at some possible, um, always some supplies for my garden. So I have such a vision, a growing vision. So I really enjoy the hours of the early day because this is when you can really hear and tap into, in the most practical way, your divine, onboard, innate intelligence, which each and every one of us was born with, which doesn't need a middleman or middlewoman. You may find some little nuggets of wisdom or insight from me or somebody else. However, there's nothing is going to go around. Nothing is going to be a substitute for your own personal experience, whether that's food, your movement practice, all these principles, all this information you see online. There's no substitute from trying it out on your body to see what works safely. You are 110% responsible for your body temple. So it would benefit us to make lots of deposits into the 401k of our body. What do we need? Our bodies and our minds and our brains, right? Mind, mental conditioning, mental habits. Brain, the physical organ. How are we going to need it to perform the next 20, 30, 40 years? So your habits, your lifestyle habits make all the difference in the world. And it's something I feel very passionately that we have access to. So your habits, right? If I'm not piling on a bunch of stuff onto my face, that's less I have to do. And that's a stress reliever. If I know exactly, let's see, I'll show you my little messy little top. But if I always have like whole foods, peppers and onions, I know what's in this stuff. I know exactly what's in it and all this stuff I can eat living and whole. Then if I'm not stuffing all the stuff into my body, I don't have to work like a demon to get it out. It's just taking the time to learn how to prepare it in ways that are sustainable and that is really enjoyable. That has really been what has worked for me, not products, my movement practice and my food. That's what cleared up all the acne. That's what works for me. That makes me look my best. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, keep it real. Is the whole fresh living foods that are unprocessed plant foods. For me, you'll have to find what your sweet spot is. So the other thing today that I wanted to just communicate about is what I'm calling soul chants. So, if you've been on this channel for a minute, I am unapologetic about crafting my own language and creating my own narrative. I think that's very, very important for humans today because our psyche and our subconscious is constantly being in a state of triggeration and triggered, and it's driving a lot of our compulsive knee jerk behaviors and self sabotaging habits. That's what I've observed with myself and with clients for many years, working as a personal trainer, a chef, and a nutrition consultant. So, the things that we're taking in, what we're watching, is stimulus to the brain and nervous system. What we're listening to, conversations that we're having, we're processing all of this mental processing through our computer, and it's instructions, right? Just like the heat, the cold, the rain, the wet, it's all instructions on your skin to the receptors on your skin, information to the brain coming through your eyes, and it's sets of instructions basically. What we're eating, you're giving a set of instructions to your cells. And this is the most practical way that I can put it. So, a big area of instruction is the music that we're listening to. Maybe some of us are in denial about it. I don't know about you, but I'm crystal clear that music is so hypnotic when you walk into stores. It sets the tone, it's driving emotions. There's a reason why it's such a big industry, right? The visuals, it gets us open. More than half the time, we're not even listening to the lyrics. We're not really paying attention to the lyrics because the beat is so hypnotic. So, I noticed that music and lyrics in particular, and different pitches and sounds, I notice that they affect me in terms of my mood. I pay attention to what is really motivating, what motivates me to immediately want to start moving my body, aka working out, what I like to call vigorous, joyous movement. I can notice that a lot of romantic songs, actually, I find have you start reminiscing on the past, on going into the past memories. Sometimes can be actually depressing, and they're actually addictive. So there's a lot of romantic songs I love. But if I'm listening to the value system, if it's absent, if it doesn't encourage me to get into action around what I say I value, there's a lot of things I will choose not to listen. Even if I do listen to certain music and I'm not religious at all, I now have a bit more awareness of what the story or the storyline is, rather than passively allowing things to go into my subconscious. So that being said, on my Patreon, I like to share. If anyone would like to go up to Patreon, you're welcome. Music is a big piece of my consumption. It's one of the biggest tools in my toolbox that I use to catapult me out of what I like to call stinking thinking. Looping old memories or thoughts, or a kind of victim perspective or woe is me perspective. It happens to all of us. We are human. There are times where you will express gluttony, you will express sadness. We run a whole gamut of emotions as human beings. So I invite you not to beat yourself up. Perhaps it can be much more effective and empowering to just to notice your thoughts, and to see if you can slow down and reverse engineer and backtrack your emotions. If you're eating mindlessly, if you're spending mindlessly, see if you can, more than catch yourself, observe what your mental state is. This is what I like to call very practical spirituality as you're inhabiting your human suit. So that being said, one of my soul mantras just mean words of power. I've gone to ashrams and I've chanted things in English and other languages. So the first language that I know is English, right? The meanings and stuff I can translate. Hold on, pause, water. So one of my favorite artists is D Train. I don't know if any of you know who D Train is. Um, you can find some of his lyrics back in the day. So I don't know if people would consider it rap, rhythmic music, or rapping. However, his lyrics are so empowering. So I have several songs that I consider my personal national anthems, and one of them is called Keep On by D Train. So I think I loaded it up, the lyrics and the discussion, or the reframing of it on Patreon. But I wanted to share it as I'm moving around this early day with you. So I did also put it on TikTok. If you're not aware, I am Body-Culinary on Instagram. I'll post on there. I am Kwasa with a K, Kwasa Peaceful, like full belly eating, Kwasa Peaceful Eating on TikTok. So I really like to make a positive use of the internet. So I will use the internet kind of like a vision board, and I will put lyrics behind. You'll usually see like a pattern, usually something with the garden, vigorous, joyous movement, enjoying your natural features. Usually, I will set that to music that is very inspiring to me. So you're welcome to enjoy. So the song Keep On. He has a couple of lines inside the song, right? Keep on, keep on. I'm a singer for me. So check it. He says, the sky is the limit, and you know that you just keep on pressing on. The sky is the limit, and you know that you can have what you want, be who you want. Listen, if you listen to some of these older, I don't know, I call it more quality music. And my son and some other folks remind me that there is some good new music today, so not to be jaded. However, when I look at, or when I listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire, Lou Rawls, right? Those are romance songs. They're really songs of appreciation and endearment of men and women to each other. It just sets a whole kind of vibe, like a man that can't wait to get home from work to see his woman, or see you when I get there, or lady love. If you listen to these lyrics, they're creating pictures in your head. And so this song D Train, check it out. I did put a little link of it on my other social media. However, I thought I would invite you all to a soul chant. So if you could repeat it 10 times, 20 times. Again, I encourage you on this channel to be unapologetic about creating support for yourself, and perhaps as a little experiment, as you're preparing your food in the early day, let's say you can't get up the motivation to get into your movement practice or your exercise. As an experiment, I invite you to try some of these, what I'm calling soul chants. Repeat them 10, 20 times as you're moving about, cleaning, washing dishes, chopping up your vegetables, and see if you notice the dissipation, or if you neutralize your stinking thinking, if your mood starts to shift. I would be so curious. Please let me know down in the comments. So I don't want this to get shut down, but I think I will find, let me see if I can find that chant. So the song is, the sky's the limit and you know that you can have what you want, be who you want. Sky's the limit and you know that you just keep on pressing on. The sky's the limit and you know that you can have what you want, be who you want. Sky's the limit and you know that you just keep on pressing on. You know that you just keep on pressing on. The sky's the limit and you know that you can have what you want, be who you want. Sky's the limit and you know that you just keep on pressing on. Sky's the limit and you know that you can have what you want, be who you want. So I have that on loop. If we are highly programmable beings, and I've said this before, at least this is my perspective, this has been my experience, even with all this discipline that we have, I am crystal clear that we are easily influenced. We're human beings, we have spirit, but we are also animals. And companies understand this, predators understand this, con artists understand this. We are easily moved and shifted, and we can be, stimulated to buy compulsively, to all these compulsive behaviors with food and with music. Food and music. So this is the soul chant today. You can find the full-length song on YouTube. The artist's name is D-Train. He has several songs that I consider some of my personal anthems. There is no way I can be in stinking thinking when I listen to them. And also, you just start chanting them. Also, I have been very particular to keep certain types of music on for my family in my house, particularly. Just as an experiment, I will put certain songs on around my son, and then later on, I would catch him at some point. I would just want to see if he would pick up and start repeating it, right? Sometimes you're singing songs that you don't even really like, but you've heard it over and over and over on rotation, and you're repeating it. So if we're going to be programmed, you might as well program yourself. And I find that this is an area that's very overlooked when people are trying to lose, or I like to say release weight and clear up your skin. There's so many different knee-jerk behaviors and residue from trauma that are driving our behavior. Even our own thinking is on loop. So the soul chant of today, and I'm sure my soul chant, is D-Train. Look it up. I invite you to put it on loop. TikTok does loop certain things. I have it on, can you say this with me 20 times? On Kwasa Peaceful Eating on TikTok. And you can find the full-length song on YouTube. And sometimes you can look up on YouTube, right? Make a positive use of the internet. You're invited. You can look up the song with the lyrics on it. So I'm not big on karaoke. However, what will grab my attention is the magnitude, right? How I'm affected by the lyrics. So again, the sky's the limit and you know that you can have what you want, be who you want. Sky's the limit and you know that you just keep on pressing on. The sky's the limit and you know that you can have what you want, be who you want. Sky's the limit and you know that you just keep on pressing on. And you know that you just keep on pressing on. Sky's the limit, you know that you can have what you want, be who you want. Sky's the limit, and you know that you just keep on pressing on. Sky's the limit, and you know that you can have what you want, be who you want. So I invite you to join me in a soul chant today. You're invited. Make yourself feel better. I invite you to give yourself options other than physical food. This is great. But this is only going to go but so far. This is great. It's got living enzymes, it's got water and fiber, but there's only so much food you can eat. It's not a substitute for your movement practice. Even if you're eating whole living foods, it's not a substitute. And it's also deeply therapeutic, which is why I will always encourage these three things. Your garden, even in whatever size your space is that you're paying rent, mortgage, whatever, your garden, your movement practice, and peaceful consumption. Whatever it is, the label, not my BI bubble I business. However, is what you're taking in nourishing your cells, nourishing your mood? Are you feeling motivated so you can cultivate some awareness? So I'm sending you all some positive vibes to start your day. There are some resources that you can find on the website, body-culinary.com. You're welcome to get on the mailing list. There are some wonderful things coming up. I know some folks say they can't catch me because I am an early bird. And actually, I don't like to, I find sometimes I don't feel like I am a talker, communicator, but sometimes I don't necessarily want to come on to talk online. I find the energy of being online, being exposed to so much randomness, to be very performative and depletive. So it doesn't always feel good. So yeah, I'm gonna limit or be more strategic about how I'm communicating. At least that's my goal, my intention, to be more intentional about what and how I'm sharing online, to make sure that it's beneficial to folks I'm sharing it with, that is valued, and that it's reciprocal, that is reciprocal energy. So you can make avail yourself of the guide Whole Living Foods in the Hood, with menus to fit your budget. Answers a lot of the questions of how I've made whole, fresh, unprocessed foods a lifestyle, um, whole living for over a decade, 11, if not going on 12 years. And my shops, different types of spending plans or budgets, the different ways I'm packing my food, carrying it, take it on the road, tips for parents, if you have to eat out away from home, all the questions that people would ask me, I compiled that together in a guide that can you can implement immediately with some visuals in it. And then for folks that have asked me about how I have cleared up my skin, and what I put in my hair, because I don't have any products to share with anybody. I don't have any products because I'm not using products. I'm using food. So, Love Your Own Hair and Skin, Natural Beauty, No Products. That is available also on body-culinary.com for men folks that come through to this channel. What offering that I have for you is a healthy eating seminar for men that are considering going plant-based. Many men are concerned about looking emaciated or not having enough energy to do their workouts. You don't have to be emaciated on whole, fresh, unprocessed foods, even if you decide to abstain from eating animal flesh or cadavers or whatever, which I used to eat and be a junk food junkie. So there are options. It's not so much about the labels, it's more about your results. So those are resources that are there. There's also a whole workshop on emergency preparedness and food preservation with living food. So I'm not canning. Shout out to those folks that do canning. I'm not. I'm working with the whole foods. Fortunately, this has been a lifestyle that can really drive your spending down. The weight of your food bags will go up. And this is something I do all throughout the year. So I just re-upped on a bit more when this whole situation that's been going on kicked in. So it really serves me in all kinds of situations. So I feel confident that I can eat well, no matter where I am on the planet. Where are you, magical? The little bunny is over here. So inviting you all to avail yourself of those resources. Those are available on body-culinary.com. If you need to reach out to me, that's info@body-culinary.com. If you're interested and setting up a personal retreat and you're interested in traveling abroad, overseas, to some waterfalls and some focus on youth for fitness and whole living foods, feel free to reach out to me to coordinate that for yourself for a personalized retreat. So I'm inviting you all to create a great day on purpose. Just because you said so. Just because you said so, right? You're the only one that has a vested interest in implementing these lifestyle practices, and it's something that you do have access to. All right, y'all. Create a great day on purpose. Put your thing on, cover your hair in the garden, and I will see you all soon. Do feel free to like if you got some value. Feel free to share if you think somebody can get value. And I invite you to replay this as you're prepping your vegetables, as you are decluttering and downsizing, as you're stretching on your yoga mat. All right. See you soon. Or even put me in the garden on the speaker. See you soon.